This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
Good morning, this is Freda Liu. It's Open for Business, and we've got two more of the 20 finalists for the Alliance Bank SME Innovation Challenge, which is in its fourth year. Here with me today is Jasmine Lua from Recommend and Reza Shahid from Grub Cycle. We've spoken to them before on Open for Business. Jasmine a little bit longer, Reza very recently. So what we're going to do is, I guess, just to find out a little bit more about their business, and get an update on things. So we're going to start with you, Jasmine, because you're just so eager to speak. Tell us about your business, Recommend, and who were you targeting when you started this?
Great. Hi, good morning, everyone. Hi, Frida. Recommend connects busy people to trusted service professionals at important moments in their lives. So, for example, people who are getting married or building their home can come to us to find renovation contractors, interior designers, photographers or caterers that are highly rated by the community. We are present in Malaysia as well as Indonesia now. And so our target market are, very busy people, busy professionals, as well as moms, who have to juggle so many things in their lives.
Okay, so now the company is about 2 years?
It's about 2 years now, yes.
Okay, and this was, we spoke last year, beginning of last year when you just started and all that. So,
right.
So have things changed? In terms of whether it's the services you offer or in any way at all?
Well, I think what still remains to be consistent is that we connect people to trusted service professionals, and along the way, many things we also fine-tune and improved. So, for example, we now have 2 different products. So the first product or the first service where we connect you to a few different service professionals if you are doing something big that requires several quotations, but for smaller things like home fixes, we do an on-demand service where if you put a request with us, in 2 hours' time, we can dispatch someone to your home. So you don't have to look through many different quotes, but you know that all the people that we send to you are trusted.
Okay.
Some of our best people.
When did you get into Indonesia?
Indonesia, actually, 3 days ago was our first year birthday for Indonesia.
Okay.
So it's been 1 year and 3 days now.
What was that like, just venturing into Indonesia?
Oh, that was actually very scary and very exciting at the same time because, as you know, Indonesia is a huge market with 250 million people, much larger than Malaysia. So we went there, we tried a few things. We got a partner there, Anthony, who is simply amazing. And the team now has grown quite significantly to the biggest player in Indonesia currently.
And when you say Indonesia, obviously you focus on Jakarta firstly.
Actually, it's Jakarta and the next 10 cities or so. So we're actually pretty much throughout Indonesia now.
Okay, yes. All right. So, on Recommend in Malaysia, what's the most popular type of service that people usually ask for?
Right. Okay, so we focus on the big projects that people go through in their lives. For example, getting married, building a home. So people mostly come to us for renovation contractors, interior designers, photographers, or even caterers for big events, that sort of thing.
Is that the same kind of thing that happens in Indonesia as well?
Indonesia, the market is slightly different there. So we do things like renovations and interior design, but they do a lot of things like, aircon service, for example, building pergolas, for example. They are a little bit culturally different from us.
And in terms of, what's happened in the last 2 years, what has been, most challenging for you guys?
Oh, wow. How long do you have? I think, many things went well. Growth went well. We have now more than 10,000 service professionals, so that went well. But one thing we found to be a challenge was we connect people with good service professionals, and then we hand off and we say, take it offline. And we found that when we get reviews from the customers, that is the point at which we find out how did things go. But before that, we don't really have a good sense of how much the job costed, whether or not there were delays, whether or not there were problems that we could have foreseen a little bit earlier and tried to mitigate. So today, actually, we are launching a new service, a transaction service, where customers can actually pay the service professionals online through Recommend. We will keep some of the amount and disburse them along the way as the service professional completes the job. And we believe that gives a lot of peace of mind to both the customer and the service professional as well, and allows us to control the flow. And each of these transactions that happens online will also be insured for theft, damages, liability as well.
Okay, so that's a new element in there.
Yes. This is actually just launched today, so you're the first one to hear about it.
Okay, so and of course, like there are also other players and as well. How competitive is this space though?
Oh, it's really competitive actually. Hey, you guys, you keep me up at night all the time. But we are slightly different from them though. They focus on things like cleaners, handymen, pretty much jobs that require, service professionals to travel to their home, fixers in a sense. While we have that as well, we do it more like an on-demand. So for example, if you're looking for a cleaner, you don't look at the ratings for 6 different cleaners. We just send you a cleaner which we know is good to your home, right? So that's one of the differences. The other thing is also we focus on jobs that are quite large in value. So our typical transaction is about 4,000 or 5,000 ringgit. So that's very different from what our competitors do.
Okay. Now, in the case of a dissatisfied customer, what steps are taken by Recommend, or is the onus on the service provider?
Actually, that doesn't happen very often. But when it does, we will first talk to both the customers and the service professional to really understand what's going on. Sometimes we do site visits as well, and then we sit down with them and figure out how do we resolve this such that both sides are happy. Very often we can find a solution, but if we do find that a service professional was less than professional or less than ideal in doing his job, we will then either suspend or ban them off the system. Yes.
Okay. So why do you think you were selected by Alliance Bank?
My beauty, charm and wit. No, well, to be honest, when I looked at all the other participants, it was truly humbling because there are some really great brands and great ideas in there. But I think why the panel chose us was because I think we refuse to give up. It is acknowledged that it's a very competitive market. So many challenges out there, and services is not exactly an easy industry. But we just refused to give up. We kept changing our business model and improved and grew and changed. And
you're like a bulldog.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Really flattering animal you chose, but yeah. We refuse to give up.
Okay, now I'm going to move on to Reza Shahid from Grub Cycle. He's one of the only social enterprise out of the 20 finalists, right?
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about, and you were just here a month ago, but do tell us, apart, from why do you think you got it, apart from your beauty, wit and charm? Why you got in the top 20?
Beside my beauty and charm, right? I believe that one of the reasons why Alliance Bank shortlisted us as a top 20, I believe because it's our fast-growing business. I mean, we just launched in June, and since that day we have grown tremendously. We managed to expand our business not just with groceries. We expand to working with cafe outlets. We work with imperfect fruits, perishable foods. So I think more the sense where we are growing fast, and by getting more assistance from Alliance Bank, we can really cover the cost of the food wastage in Malaysia.
So your tell us a little bit about Grub Cycle, and basically your social cause is to prevent food wastage or to reduce food wastage.
Yep. So basically, how Grub Cycle works is that we have 3 pillars where we call pillars. First of all is the Grub Groceries, where we work with supermarkets. We get the item that almost expired within 1 to 3 months. Get it from the supermarket and sell it back to the public at half the price of the market price. And we sell it through, as at now, we sell it through social media and email newsletter. But starting next week, going to launch our e-commerce website to smooth the process of people buying from us. Secondly, we work with cafe outlets and bakeries, what we call Grub Bites. So Grub Bites, where whenever a cafe has a surplus food, they took a photo of the surplus food, upload into the mobile app platform, which we are currently developing it, and then anyone within the area will receive a notification saying that, hey, this cafe has a surplus food, do drop by and collect at a bargain price. And lastly is Grub Homemade, where we work with imperfect fruits or vegetables. The first one is pineapple jam, which we just start selling it this week at the price of 9 ringgit. And next month, we're going to start selling kimchi. And above all, part of proceed goes to subsidize the cost of basic food necessities such as rice, salt, sugar, egg for the low-income families at half price.
So what is imperfect food?
So imperfect food is funny.
Not to be confused with unhealthy food.
So it's like something like the size of pineapple. Normally is size of palm hands, but this one is just really small, a few centimeters small. Then suddenly it's an oddly shaped. Shape, yeah. But it's still good. It's still good to be consumed. Where sometimes even the outside looks a bit like a bit ugly, I guess, but
Okay.
inside is still as sweet as a normal fruit.
Right, so it's still fine. Just that I guess if you put it in the supermarkets, people might not buy it because it
Yes.
doesn't look as good. You
Yep.
just put a pen to it. Anyway, sorry, sad joke, but okay. So and then you have this program called the Grub Back.
Yep. So the Grub Bag is the one where we subsidize the cost of basic food for the low-income families, where the price of the Grub Bag is 30 ringgit, and Grub Cycle subsidize half of it, which is 15. So now the low-income families only need to pay us 15 to get the subsidization of Grub Bag. How we deem on the family is where Grub Cycle have our own criteria. So we ensure that only people who meet our criteria can receive the subsidization of the Grub Bag, because this is to ensure that there's no abuse or people trying to take advantage of this Grub Bag.
Okay, so this is so people are not okay, so there's no abuse, lower prices and all that, right? What's your way of measuring impact again? How is that calculated?
We have 3 key impact metrics. The first one is based on how many kilograms of food being saved from being thrown to the environment. How we measure that is basically whenever people buy from us, we consider that as is safe from being thrown away. Secondly, is based on the amount of expenses from the customers, where we compare the price of the market price and the price of Grub Cycle price. Whatever the difference is considered as amount to be saved from you. And lastly is the amount of families that we help through Grub Bags. Currently, we have 20 families, which we already have up to 63 household people.
Okay, all right. What are your challenges besides funding?
Well, in a business, there's always challenges, and it's always the chicken and egg thing, where we have challenges from the F&B business, and we also have challenges from the customers. From the F&B, it's all about they are not, how to say this. Still, this is a new way of addressing their food wastage.
Yeah.
So they are not really used to it, and also there's a common perception saying that if there's food wastage, it means that you're either not getting any sales, or either because you are inefficient in terms of stock management. So we're trying to tell the cafe that this is not exactly the perception. It's more about we're trying to reduce food waste as a whole. Secondly, from the customers, it's all about educating them on the awareness of food wastage, because sometimes if you see a normal bag gardenia bread, it can still be eaten even after the batch before, as long as you kept it properly. And secondly, it's trying to educate them that by involving a social enterprise, buying from a social enterprise, you can still help the community as well as the environment for a better future generation.
Okay, just very quickly though, what is the process of how it functions when someone wants to they go online and shop for your things?
Yep. So they go online for because now we have 2 ways of people ordering from us. For the groceries and homemade, they just go, for starting next week, they can just go online, www.grubcycle.my, and buy it from the e-commerce site. As at now, how we deal is that you leave your email on our Facebook, and on a weekly basis, we send you a newsletter. So you get a list of what we call it Grub list. So on the Grub list, there's a few lists of items that you can choose, and we do our free delivery on every weekends.
Okay.
So it saves time, it saves money.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about your learning so far, having gone on this innovation challenge. And in just a moment, I'm here with Jasmine Liu from Recommend and Reza Shahid from Grub Cycle. Stay tuned to Open for Business, BFM 89.9.
Built for marketeers. BFM 89.9.
It's Open for Business. Good morning. Freda Liu here. Jasmine Liu from Recommend and Reza Shahid from Grub Cycle. They're 2 of the 20 finalists for the Alliance Bank SME Innovation Challenge, which is in its 4th year already. So we were just talking a little earlier about their businesses. Reza's Grub Cycle is the only social enterprise out of the 20. Now, obviously, what you guys have done over the last couple of weeks is go for classes.
Yep.
I know your partner went for a class instead, Jasmine, but I know there's also the CEO Chatroom, right? So far you guys have gone for lean marketing and presentation impact. Reza, maybe you can share with us what you've learned so far.
Yeah, what I like about the training session, especially I'll talk more on the lean marketing, because what the difference now, we have gone through a few workshop, either from Magic or some other else workshop, but what I like about this Alliance BizSmart, because it really gives us a hands-on. There was one of the exercise where we need to get back to them within 50 minutes by calling all our clients, and we need to report to them. So how many clients we call, how many meetings we set, is there any like sales made? So that's really a hands-on, means that you have to do it there by then, and you get the results straight away. So it really pushed us to the limit, saying that if we really want to be successful, you have to do it now
You have
and
to
get the results.
Do it
straight away.
now, get back to your customer now, and,
Yep.
and that kind of mindset lah.
Yeah, that kind of mindset. Yeah.
Okay, for you, I know you you had the CEO chat room, right?
Yes. Actually, the CEO chat room was really eye-opening for me. We were listening to Tan Sri Liu Kisin, as well as Datuk Chang on their experience. And two things really stood out. The first was how they were always very tied to core business principles of growing as well as making money, ensuring that there's sustainability in everything we do, right? Sometimes startups, we can get very much caught up in the growth, the funding and the hoo-ha, but really looking at the bottom line of it and asking yourself, is this business going to make a lot of money at some foreseeable point in the future, was a very good learning for us. It really grounded us on what we should be focusing on. And the second thing which I found was quite amazing was the challenges that these two guys have gone through together. I think in the 15 or 20 years of working together, right? You
Bros.
think,
Okay.
right? The
Yeah.
bros, right? And as they go through their challenges, they never thought like, ayo, say lah, this is just gonna kill me. But they thought, okay, this is difficult, let's see how we can get through to it, through it. And the faith that they will eventually come out okay in some form or other, kept them going and going and going through the difficulties. So I feel that as entrepreneurs, we should always remember this, that setbacks are only temporary, or it's something that happens at that point. But what you do with it and how you can use that challenge to propel you to a different level is something that remains to be done.
Okay, and here's the thing, right? Do you have partners? Do you have partner as well?
Yeah, I have
You a
partners as
so
well,
what's that like working with partners? I mean,
No, I have to say that recommend the partners that I have is Alex, who takes care of content marketing, and Anthony, who takes care of Indonesia. Those two guys are the best thing that happened to me in my entrepreneurship life. During the times when we were strategizing for the future, we worked together to try to be as put all emotions and put everything aside and figure out what's truly the best for the company. And during the times when we were stretched for cash, for example, or realizing that the profitability on some of our products were not as high as we wanted to, the three of us really worked together to figure out a solution without pointing fingers or blaming and say, hey, you lah, I told you we should do this, that sort of thing. There was none of that. And so, we remain really, really united. Recommend in Malaysia, Sejasa in Indonesia, the entire team is very, very united. So I really, it was really good.
I think for us, having a partners from a various background really works well for us, because myself is from an accounting background, and then we have a few co-founders from legal background, from engineering
how
background.
many co-founders do you have?
We have 4 co-founders, so it's really a big team. But most of all is a passion on why we really start our social enterprise. Having the same passion instilled into the team, having the same value, it really brings us down. Where whenever we are too focused on our business, it always gives us the mindset that we are doing this for the community. We're doing this for the environment, for a few generations. So it really helped us to make sure that whatever we do, our goals, value and mission is always stay the same throughout our whole journey of the business.
So 250,000. If one of you win it, right? There are other prizes as well, but one of you win it, what will you do with the money?
For me, winning it would be awesome, it would be fabulous. Who doesn't want to win it, right? But it will tremendously help us in expanding our business in terms of acquiring partners, acquiring customers, and also we understand that as at now, we haven't really covered the whole entirety of food wastage, because we haven't really covered like surplus from restaurant, buffet from hotel. So getting this winning prize from the Alliance Bank might help us to really cover the full area. And besides that, we are looking to expand to other states in Malaysia by end of the year.
Right.
And fingers crossed, hopefully Singapore by March.
Okay.
We really hope that by winning, we can really championing the social enterprise on the food wastage issue.
Because I think like the food that perish faster is a bit more challenging than right now. So that will require a little bit more of R&D in a way.
Yep, we are doing it now, so hopefully we can go it faster. So.
Jasmine, 250,000.
Wow, if we won this 250,000, we will actually launch a product that will allow you to redesign and renovate your home from scratch in 6 weeks' time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the what you're going to do with the prize money.
Yes, that's because if you think about it, right, renovations are one of those things that are like super headache and super stressful parts of your life.
Yes.
If only from the point of which you pay the down payment to the point of which it's completed and you can move in is only 6 weeks. I think that would be a product that many people would say, thank God, where were you all my life?
Okay. But I guess, even without that kind of funding, you still be going ahead, maybe just not as fast.
Yes,
in
we'll
developing.
definitely still be going ahead, but the 250K will help spur it on lah.
Spur it on.
That might make me want to buy a house soon. So
Let's talk.
All right. Thanks for being with us, Jasmine Lua from Recommend and Reza Shahid from Grub Cycle. Tomorrow we'll be speaking to 2 more finalists from the Alliance Bank SME Innovation Challenge. You've been listening to Open for Business, BFM 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. BFM 89.9, the business station.
This year, I will chew 117 number 2 pencils.
I will doodle 9 Staples notebooks to death.
When it comes to school supplies, it's guaranteed your kids will go through a lot.
I'll make a whole lot of paper airplanes.
I will lose my backpack.
That's why you get guaranteed savings for back to school at Staples.
I'll give away my last pen to Nathan in math class.
Get guaranteed savings at Staples, and right now, 1 subject notebooks for just a penny with a $5 purchase. Staples, that was easy. Valid on select SKUs while supplies last. Limit 6. Ends 8/25/12.